Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, depending on what time you're watching this. The playlist you're watching this on is a YouTube playlist that I create for all projects that we do. Uh, the tracks that are in this playlist are used to bring us in and out of, to bring us into the project quickly. The tracks are selected not necessarily based on the business or organization or trends or anything, but more so that the music itself has the evocative rasas and channels the archetypes that we're working with for this project. So this just allows us to uh, jump into the project quickly and get into the vibe, get into the mood. Um, if you want to peruse the playlist, go ahead. Just keep in mind that it's more of an internal thing, so it's not necessarily connected to your organization. This playlist is unlisted, so it's available, but you need to have the link in order to access it. So you don't have to worry about people searching the name and finding it. What you're looking at right now is what we call a story outline. Whenever we do a project that requires an execution, we always identify a few key things that um, uh, need to be considered in the story. In this case, this is for the public works interpretation of the Few But Felt uh, Black Leopard story. So for our T-shirt, we're going to be channeling the ruler and rebel archetype with a little bit of every person utopian, but predominantly the ruler and rebel archetype. The illustration, the visuals will be tuned to the heroism rasa, which is in Sanskrit, the technical term is viram, and a little bit of wonder. The key idea for our T-shirt, is going to uh, signify the ability, or the environmentalists and the black leopards together. Their ability, what they share in common, is their ability to influence the environmental ecosystem in Sri Lanka. Uh, Following that, we have three ideas to unpack that gives us ingredients to put into the story. One being that this idea of the values that they uphold, the responsibility, leadership, and influence. If you want to know more about this, the details of this, you can go into the document if you want and read it. Essentially, it's that the environmentalists, through their work, and the leopards, by being the apex predator, hold the ecosystem in place. The second idea that will be signified in the illustration is that their ability to cause change through their existence. Both the environmentalists and the black leopard have a legacy of revolutionizing their system and nonconformity, and bringing on a radical change. The environmentalists, through their work, and the black leopard, through its rare gene mutation, increases its species' ability to hunt. So they project the value of challenging the status quo, which is the rebel. Both the environmentalists and the black leopard contribute to fairness. The activists' work and the black leopard's influence on its threatened species survival contribute to the fairness, which is in every person attribute. So the third idea is the contributing to the safety and the fair opportunities for the survival of also diverse species. So how does that translate to graphics? We take these and we use the archetypes and the rasa to identify existing graphics that signify those ideas. So I created a little Pinterest board here, which I'll be using as my visual spectrum. So this is the illustration that I make will live within the look and feel of these graphics. But most importantly, they'll signify the same ideas that these graphics hold. So the idea that we're doing is going to have two elements to it. One is a typographic one, and the other one is an iconic and symbolic illustration. The illustration will be a mixture of a human. It will be a hybrid, human leopard hybrid, either the two characters together in this kind of fashion, where they're running or doing something together, or it'll be in the sort of Durga, working together fashion. Alternatively, what I'm also looking to explore is doing a hybrid, which I think is a bit of a stronger idea just because of its simplicity. And it's the idea of having sort of half human, half leopard character holding certain elements, certain symbolic elements. So in this example here, you can see we could have a leopard head and leopard tail with a human body. The strength of that is our ability to use symbolism to touch on those three key points that make them so influential. You see an example here of this character holding two objects and then having the symbolic sun and moon imagery. So that's this is what we're planning. We recommend doing this. This is because it connects also with the public works aesthetic and the semiotics that we use. So it will be a nice contribution to this artist series. The next step after this is we're going to table this, so we'll wait a couple of days before we start prototyping. When I prototype it, I'm going to be prototyping it in two different ways. I'll be doing one version where the text is small. This is the few but felt caption. Will be small on the front left chest breast pocket, with the graphic large on the back. And then I'll do another version where the illustration is small and can be put on the left pocket, and the back will be more typographic. So I'll be testing those two options out, making sure the graphic works both ways. So that way in the future, if you want to use it for other things, it can be also used in that way. I'm also going to test it out to be used as a pattern. I think these graphics would work well that way, either in an illustrative pattern like this, where it creates more of an abstract shape, or as a pattern almost with other things. But mainly we're going to be looking at just the spot illustration with the text. Yeah. So that's the idea. We'll wait a couple of days to table it. That way, if you have any questions, anything you want me to unpack before we move forward, I can do so. Otherwise, the next step is to render the illustration and put it into a mock-up to test these things out. Then I'll be, once the testing is done and we know it works, I'll be going into the Illustrator files and cleaning up the graphics to make sure that if you do use it on a large scale in the future, all the lines are nicely done and the detailing is there. Once that's done, I'll make another video recording like this, and we'll table everything, and it will be ready to go, and we'll move into the next phase, which is to get this artwork printed onto t-shirts. Great. Have a nice day. Talk to you soon.